Cut that shit off. You guys ever heard that a sneeze is the closest thing your body does to an orgasm? It's true. And, if you think about it, there's a lot of similarities between sneezes and orgasms. They both release endorphins. They both cause body convulsions, and at the end of both of them, you need a Kleenex and to wash your hands. We've all heard that if you don't close your eyes when you sneeze, that your eyeballs would shoot out of your head like champagne corks. You ever seen that at the end of a porno? The guy's eyeballs are bouncing off of his cheeks? No. But plus, it's helpful to close your eyes because it makes it easier to forget who you're banging when your freaking sister's hair keeps whipping you in the face. Damn, I was hoping not to do this. I expect a lot more out of a place like this. My ex-wife used to think I was imagining other people because I would close my eyes right at the beginning. That's not true. She was just a giant bitch, and it made it a lot easier to get through it with my eyes closed.
And she was.
But as I get older, things are starting to make a lot more sense to me. My mom actually wrecked her car sneezing one time. She used to get these fits where she'd sneeze like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 times in a row. Not me. I sneeze once and I'm ready for a sandwich and a nap. You get it? The nap. Well, see, my dad was a truck driver, so he wasn't always home to sneeze or... Have you ever heard that you could induce a sneeze by looking up at the sun? This woman used to be out in the front yard all the time with binoculars, trying to set a world record. We used to think she had superpowers, kind of like Snow White, talk to animals a little bit. There's always a shit ton of cats that followed her around. But it's true, she did wreck her car sneezing one time. I remember that we were headed to town to get some eggs. And we had just drove up the top of this hill, and the sun had kind of peeked through the trees. It reflected right off the hood of the car and hit her right square in the eyes. She let out a little moan that made the dog's head turn sideways, and just kind of a, oh. Well, I looked at my sister. We didn't say a word, but I knew what was about to happen. So I grabbed her seatbelt and I cinched it up real tight. I looked back at my mom through the rearview mirror, and I saw her eyes roll into the back of her head, her chest sink in a little bit, like she was starting to morph into the Incredible Hulk. And just about that time, the sun hit her once more. She was a goner. She hit that sneeze just like a bam, 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 bam. I heard her toes pop as they started to curl. And she went stiff as a board. And I know she did because we started to accelerate. Pretty soon we're veering off the road till we hit the rumble strips. Then she kind of stayed on them for a while. Here it comes again. Bam, bam, bam. She went straight up AK-47 on us. We did slide off the road. Bounced off a couple trees. Spun around backwards. I saw a school bus full of kids pass by. We came to an abrupt stop right in front of a church parking lot. Praise God. The windshield looked like the first row at a Gallagher concert. But I'll never forget what she did after that. She reached into her purse. She pulled out a cigarette. She lit it. Took a long, smooth draw. Leaned her head back against the headrest. After a moment of silence, she looked back and she said, "In case it isn't obvious, the chicken came before the egg." And that's all for me.